Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy John, aka Junior. Hey guys, John Jr. here, bringing you guys another APA Wi-Fi video. And how many times am I going to be able to do that intro in my lifetime? Probably like once a season, you know, if Midi and Panther like me. Jokes aside, today I am playing Dan, aka aDrive, who is somebody that I have watched for so many years. He's influenced how I play Pokemon, how I watch Pokemon, all this good stuff, and I really look up to him as a person. So it's really cool to be able to play him, to have the honor to play him, and he's a cool guy. I've been able to talk to him a little bit, so I've been really looking forward to this battle. Going into this battle, we are 2-3, and Dan is 3-2. Dan actually beat Panther last week, spoilers if you haven't seen that, and Panther, if you don't know, is one of my best friends, so I really want to get some vengeance for Panther. But Dan has a really scary team. Actually, you look at his team, I've told everybody that it was like looking in a mirror. This looks like a team that I would draft 110%. He's got some John Jr. favorites like Victini, Mimikyu, Donphan, Rotom Wash. And then he's got some other mons that I haven't really used the most, but I've used a little bit, like Kartana, things like that. So let's go ahead and get in here, get into his team, and then get into what I'm bringing and why I'm bringing it. But before we do all of that, like always, if you guys want to go ahead and skip the team builder, there's a timestamp in the description below for that. There's a timestamp to skip to the battle if you want to go ahead and skip to that. And below all of that, there's going to be a link to Dan's channel. Go ahead and check him out if you haven't already, which I'm sure you have. If you watch me and not Dan, I'm actually completely mind blown. Please go check Dan out if you have not already. Last thing here before we get into the team builder, I've been doing YouTube for 6 years, and I had 189 subs throughout those 6 years before joining the APA. I joined the APA and I now have like 410, so I cannot stress enough how thankful I am for each and every one of you who not only stick around and subscribe, but who not only comment, who not only like my videos, but just for clicking on my video, for listening to some random kid play some Pokemon, and I really appreciate you guys so much. So thank you guys so much, and without any further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into this team builder. Okay, so first of all, getting into this team builder, before I say anything else, I do want to go ahead and obviously shout out my front office, but specifically this week I want to shout out Jacob as always. Jacob's actually been a really good friend of mine recently. He's such a good guy, and he's really helped me through some stuff, helped me talk about some stuff, and I really appreciate him, helped me get some stuff off my chest. And this week he actually built my team. I passed him the matchup, and I passed him the team that I had, which I had sat on for like 2 weeks, and he said, okay, that's good, here's what we're gonna take from it. And he took 5 of the 6 mons, I think, and then he changed the sets, and then he put on Drapion over Tangrowth, and then now we have this team. So huge shout out to Jacob. Last week I lost to Wolfey, if you didn't watch that, and I lost to the competitive Melodic. I wouldn't have lost if I brought Jacob's team that he suggested last week, because he had a Calm Mind Latias as opposed to a Defog Latias. So really wish that I would have listened to Jacob last week, so I am never not listening to Jacob again. So this week we're bringing the sets that he suggested here. Hopefully they're able to put in some work here against Dan. So going over Dan's team, like I said, it's like looking in a mirror. It looks like a John Jr. team if I have ever seen one. He's got Victini, Rotom Wash, Mimikyu, Galvantula, Kartana, Donphan, Tyrantrum, Mega Pidgeot, Garbodor, Scrafty, and Audino. The only mon on this team that I have never used or never had like an urge to use is Scrafty. Other than that, I love every mon on this roster, which is crazy, actually crazy. And it's not like I dislike Scrafty either. I do like Scrafty, but it's not one of my favorites, but I would definitely use it. So it's just like looking at a John Jr. team, and his team is so scary. As far as the mons that I think he's gonna bring, I think Victini is a definite. I think there's no way Victini doesn't come, which is so cool to be able to face the V-Drive. But anyway, fanboy aside, Victini is a really good mon in this matchup. All he needs is Blue Flare, Energy Ball, and probably Thunderbolt, and he can hit my entire team. Thunderbolt allowing him to hit Araquanid. Blue Flare I have almost no resist for, and the resist that I do have are weak to Energy Ball. So I think that Victini is definitely going to come. I think that last slot can either be Workup or Sub, depending on what route he wants to go. If he wants to go with Workup, he could definitely be Life Orb, and if he wants to go Sub, I definitely see Leftovers coming. Maybe Z, I guess. I guess Z is also an option. I don't really see Scarf is what I meant to say. Scarf, like, it does good in this game, but I don't think that he really wants to limit himself to a move. Like, he has to kind of switch moves in order to hit my entire team. The only mon that he doesn't really hit with the set that I mentioned is Latias, so I could definitely see U-Turn on the last slot as well. But Victini, like, I really expect those 3 moves in some fashion. I expect him to be able to hit us really, really hard, and it's a real problem. It's a real threat. Next up, Donphan. Donphan is one of his only answers to Mega Diancie alongside Rotom Wash. I really expect an AV Donphan with something like Earthquake, Rock Slide, Knockoff, and Ice Shard. That covers my team pretty nicely. He might not want to do that because of no reliable recovery though, so maybe like max Spadef with leftovers is possible, but I really, really expect AV because otherwise he gets 3-shot by Moonblast, which is going to be really, really nice for us. And all we have to do is whittle this Mon down and Diancie goes absolutely bonkers. Next up here is a Mon that I kind of expect, but like I don't at the same time. We've got Tyrantrum. Tyrantrum does get walled by Tangrowth, so we got to keep that in mind, but if he is willing to play around the Tangrowth, I think Tyrantrum does absolutely amazing in this game. Obviously, we have Choice Scarf on Zapdos, you guys can see, but he doesn't know that, so it basically, if he got a Dragon Dance up, he would think that he basically wins as long as Tangrowth is whittled down. So I think Tyrantrum's a definite possibility. It's not one of the mons that I think is 100% going to come, but I think it's definitely one of the mons that can come. Next up here, we have Mimikyu Pikachu. I love this mon, one of my absolute favorites. I really think Mimikyu is a good matchup. Both stabs are super effective against Latias, and we don't have that many great resists. Cobalion is kind of a decent check to it. Like Drapion can be okay against it, but we don't have anything that's super great against it, right? Like Ferroseed was actually a mon that I was looking at bringing just to check it, but I decided against it because he has a whole Victini right there. But Mimikyu is just such a huge problem. He can just go generic Swords Dance stabs, maybe play rough Shadow Sneak, and then he could bring Woodhammer if he really wants to hit Diancie, which I could definitely see Diancie and Swampert. And he could also go Drain Punch to hit the Cobalion. I could definitely see that as well, Cobalion and Ferroseed. So probably stabs plus either Woodhammer or Drain Punch is what I'm expecting. Maybe Life Orb, maybe Z move, I'm not entirely sure. Depends on if he wants to run Z Victini or not. Next up, I really expect Mega Pidgeot, but it's in the same boat as Tyrantrum. It depends on if he thinks he can play around Zapdos, because Zapdos is an amazing check to Mega Pidgeot. He has to bring Hurricane for 100%, he has to bring HP Steel, and then his last 2 moves are probably going to be Heat Wave and maybe like Hyper Voice. I don't know if it gets Hyper Voice, or Heat Wave and Sub/Work Up, like same thing as Victini. I think it's very possible for Mega Pidgeot, maybe even U-Turn. And he's gotta go Timid in order to outspeed my Lati and Diancie. So if he doesn't do that, then great, then Diancie will outspeed him, which is amazing. But this is another mon that I don't think will for sure come. I think it might come. Lastly here, the mon that I do expect is going to be Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash is in the same boat as Victini, as a mon that I really, really expect to come almost every matchup. The only things that really scare Rotom Wash are like Zygarde 50 or like a really, really hard-hitting grass type. Like, and there's not very many of those. Like Bulu, like I don't have Bulu, so I really don't see any reason for Rotom Wash not to come. I think generic dual stabs, maybe Dark Pulse or Sucker Punch plus Will-O-Wisp is fine in this game. I don't see any reason to run anything else. If he wants to run HP Grass for Swampert, great. Swampert's not doing anything against him anyway. He can do that if he wants to. But that's the 6 that I expect. As far as the other mons that he has that I kind of could definitely see coming, I really see Galvantula as my 7th mon. Galvantula has a pretty good matchup, and if he doesn't want to bring either Tyrantrum or Mega Pidgeot, I really, really see Galvantula coming. I think Galvantula's got a fine matchup, and my team doesn't care about webs a whole ton, but the mons that do really care about webs, like Cobalion does not want to be hit with webs at all. Diancie, before the Magic Bounce, does not want to be hit with webs at all, but he might be too scared to bring it because I did bring that Protect Mega Diancie last week, so we'll see on that front. And then Kartana's a weird one. Kartana's in the same kind of world as Tyrantrum there. It depends on how he wants to play around Zapdos and Tangrowth, which he could definitely do. And my front office actually warned me to watch out for Swords Dance Z Giga Impact, so we gotta be on the lookout for that if he does bring that. Swords Dance Giga Impact plus probably, I'd say like Sacred Sword's Leaf Blade maybe in order to hit my mons, but then like he doesn't hit Latias at all. So I don't know. We'll have to see on that front. Maybe Sacred Sword knockoff. I don't know. But it definitely could come. Oddno and Garbodor are really the only 2 mons that I cannot see coming. Scrafty is another mon that I kind of can see coming. If he gets a Dragon Dance up, we are in a lot of trouble. He can be max speed Jolly and outspeed my not only Lati but also Diancie at +1, and those are my 2 fastest mons. And he needs Dual Stab plus Iron Head, and he can really just put a whole like a huge dent in my team. The only problem with that is going to be Zapdos and Tangrowth, so he might be dissuaded from bringing that, but we'll have to see. So onto the team that I'm bringing and why I am bringing it. The first mon we do have here is going to be Zapdos. The speed on Zapdos is going to be for Tyrantrum. We are running Scarf, which is really, really cool. We can outspeed a max speed Jolly Tyrantrum. We can live an Adamant Z return from cart after, I think, rocks? Yeah, after rocks, which is really, really cool. As if he decided not to go Adamant Z Giga in case he wanted to click return afterwards, which is really, really cool. And then we went the rest in special attack Modest. This mod can hit super, super hard. U-turn for momentum because he does have a whole Don fan right there. We have Thunderbolt because it hits his entire team really, really nicely, except for that Don fan. And obviously the Tyrantrum, but we have HP Ice for that. HP Ice to hit the Don fan, Tyrantrum, Mega Pidgeot, and then Heat Wave for something like the Galvantula and Kartana. This is going to be our dedicated lead, and if he leads Don fan, we're going to U-turn, we're going to go right into Cobalion, hope he clicks Knockoff and try to get a Justified boost. If he leads Galvantula, we are going to click Heat Wave and see how that goes, and those are really the only two leads that I really expect. He might lead like Scarf Victini and click U-turn, and if he does, we're just gonna U-turn on that as well. So we'll see what happens there, but that is going to be our Zapdos. Next up here, we do have a really, really cool Lottie set, Cassibberry, which reduces super effective ghost type attacks, and we have Defog, Healing Wish, Psychic Roost. We have to go max speed to outspeed the Kartana. Defog is really, really nice in this game. Just we have to bring it because of webs. Like I said, Cobalion does not appreciate webs at all, and since we are bringing Cobalion, we got to bring Defog, unfortunately. Healing Wish is going to be there to heal up the Zapdos once rocks get up and it gets whittled down, the Mega Diancie because Diancie is going to be a win con, and the Cobalion. We've got Psychic because his team is super weak to Psychic unless he brings Scrafty, and then we've got Roost for longevity. Like I said, enough speed to outspeed the max speed Kartana, pretty simple there. We can live a +4 Life Orb Shadow Sneak that is adamant from the Mimikyu with the Cassibberry, which is really, really cool. And normally, Jacob even told me that normally he would never recommend running a super effective berry when you are weak to both of their stabs, but he is slower than us, so he's probably going to be forced to click Shadow Sneak if he doesn't want to lose his Mimikyu once Disguise is down. So I thought it made a lot of sense, and I really, really liked this set when he brought it to me. We can live a Specs Bug Buzz from the Galvantula as well, and we can 2-hit KO the Kartana with Psychic, so that's really, really cool. I really, really like this Lottie set. Next up here we have our WinCon Mega Diancie. We have to make sure to scout for steel moves before we set up on all of the Mons. We can live one Max Modest Rotom Hydro Pump after we are at +1, which is really, really cool. Diancie's a really, really bulky Mon base 110 split def, so not really that surprising. Dual stabs do super good in this game. Moonblast plus Diamond Storm hits basically everything on his team, and we just have to know when to click Calm Mind and when to click Rock Polish. If he has Mega Diancie left, or if he's Scarf Tyrantrum, we gotta click Rock Polish. If he has, you know, if one of those Mons is down, we can click Calm Mind and we might be able to win the game just from there, which is really, really awesome. So that is going to be the and we are max speed outspeed the Kartana. That's going to be our Diancie set. Next up is the one Mon that I was not the most keen on bringing, but we did bring it to check Teeny. We brought Drapion with Pursuit and Knockoff, Earthquake, Fire Fang. We're just going max, and I hate going max, but it is what it is. We have to do this to live, let me see, a Jolly Banded V-Create after Rocks, which is alright, and this is going to be our dedicated Teeny check. It literally has no purpose besides being a Victini check. We're Assault Vest in case he is that Blue Flare variant, and we are Earthquake for the Tyrantrum and Fire Fang for the Kartana, just in case he wants to send in those on us. And like I said, I wasn't too keen on this set. I didn't really like Drapion, but it makes sense to bring it because of Victini right there. I had Tangrowth initially in this slot, but like I said, I'm never not trusting Jacob again. So if Jacob says bring Drapion, we're bringing Drapion. Next up here we do have Swampert, which is going to be really, really bulky Mon. It's going to be another Victini check. We have Stealth Rock, Roar, Earth Power, Scald. We can live an Adamant Z Woodhammer from the Mimikyu after a Spike with the Rindo Berry, of course, and we can live any unboosted special Grass type move from the Victini, whether that be Specs, whether that be Z, whether that be Life Orb, whether it be +1 with Workup. Like, we can live any special Grass type move from the Victini, which is really, really nice. As long as we have the Rindo intact, of course, and we are at full. We have Stealth Rock because Stealth Rocks do pretty alright against his team, and they force Defog on Rotom Wash. Roar to phase something like the Tyrantrum, which could set up in our face. Earth Power because Victini, you know, things like that. Tyrantrum, it does pretty good. And then we have Scald for our other stab to burn some things to hit the Don Fan, things like that, so that's really, really nice there. And then finally, our last Mon here is going to be Cobalion Cobalt. We are running a really cool set, and this is really similar to the initial set that I had. It's just, I think it's just a move change and an item change, maybe a couple EVs too. But the stabs are unresisted minus Victini, and we have Magnet Rise for the Don Fan. So that's going to be really, really cool. Basically, what the plan is here, like I said, if he leads Don Fan, we lead Zapdos, we click U-turn, we go into this. Presumably, he click Knockoff or Rocks if he's not EV. We'll click Magnet Rise on his Earthquake, and then we'll be able to Swords Dance up, and we'll be able to hit something super, super hard. So that's really, really nice there. And if he wants to go Mega Pidgeot, we have enough Split Def to live one Hurricane from the Mega Pidgeot, as long as he's not modest, which he cannot be to outspeed the Mega Diancie and the Latias. And Z Fightinium is going to drop something, so that's really nice there. But anyway, guys, that's going to be the team that we are bringing and why we are bringing it. Again, shout out to Jacob for the team, and now we're going to go and face Dan. Okay, guys, so we are going to go ahead and go into this battle against Dan, aka aDrive, and you can see the team that he brought the Kartana over the Tyrantrum, so nothing too crazy, nothing that we were not prepared for. Z-Giga Impact Kartana looked very fitting on this team, and other than that, he brought what we expected. So like I said, we are going to go ahead and lead Zapdos, try to catch the Donphan, and then switch into hopefully the Cobalion, try to get Justified to see how that goes on turn 1, but he is going to challenge us here, and this is awesome because I've seen this character model in so many videos. But we're going to go ahead and lead Jacob, our Zapdos, here, as he is going to actually lead Victini. So I kind of expected him to be maybe Scarf with U-turn, or maybe just U-turn in general, try to get some momentum off turn 1. So I'm just going to go straight for the U-turn here, and he either knows we're Scarf or he's slow Victini, so he probably knows a little bit more than we do at this point. So we're going to go ahead and go into Swampert. No way he clicks Energy Ball on our Zapdos, it doesn't make any sense at all, as he is going to go for Blue Flare and connect, and he's going to do 252 timid damage, so he's just a generic Victini, you know, nothing too crazy, as he is going to get Leftovers Recovery, so that tells me that he is 99% a Victini that has sub, probably the set that I talked about, sub Energy Ball, Blue Flare, Thunderbolt if I had to guess. But we're going to go hard Jacob here. There's no reason for him not to go Energy Ball or switch out, so he is going to go straight for that Energy Ball, and Zapdos is going to eat that up easy, which actually does a little bit more damage than I would like. But here I decided, okay, well, he's not playing super conservatively with this Victini, so we're going to click Thunderbolt here. We're going to try to get some damage off on this Victini, and we're going to see what happens. If he goes Donphan, we've got an immediate switch into the Swampert, so I'm fine with it. So we do go for the Thunderbolt here, and we connect, and we do a good chunk of damage, and we actually get the Para, which I could feel the tilt from Dan's side as soon as I got that. But he goes straight for the sub, which kind of, it didn't surprise me, you know, because I expected the sub, but I figured, okay, he's staying in, there's no reason for him not to switch out here, so we are going to go straight for the Thunderbolt again. Kinda wish I didn't let the damage get on the Zapdos though. It's a lot of damage on Zapdos. He goes for Blue Flare here, and it's going to hurt us quite a bit. As he does go Blue Flare. Yeah, I should have just probably hard switched into Swampert now that I think about it, but it's okay. He does put us at 21% Note Burn, which is unfortunate because now we die to Rocks, and that comes into play later. But I am going to switch out here, and I am going to go into the Swampert, I do believe. Yeah, I go back into Swampert here, as I expect him to probably go for sub, maybe Blue Flare, see what he does. He does go for sub, which actually really surprised me, because if I just clicked Thunderbolt, then he didn't have enough HP to bring a sub. So it really surprised me how he was playing so, like, not conservatively with his Victini early game. I guess it makes sense after the Para, but before the Para I didn't really understand it. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Scald here, and we are going to break the sub here on V-Drive, which is awesome. As he is going to go for, I believe, Energy Ball, and actually he's going to get fully paralyzed, so unfortunately for Dan, I decide, okay, so he's probably going to save his Victini, maybe not, but I'm going to go ahead and get my rocks up and see what he does here, because I do have the Rindo Berry, and if he wants to click Energy Ball, that's fine. We are not going to die to any one grass type move from this Victini. So he's going to break through Para this time. He's going to use Energy Ball, and it's going to do nothing to Swampert as we eat that up. A lot better than I thought we would, actually. It did like 100 damage, which is awesome. So here, I'm just going to go for Scald. I have no reason not to. If he wants to go into Rotom, that's fine. If he wants to give me a Victini, that's fine. I decided he's been playing really unconservatively with this Victini, so let's just take it out while he's giving it to us before he changes his mind. So we take out the biggest threat on Dan's team in Victini. Turn 1, that is absolutely fine. He goes into Rotom here, and I was like, okay, so he's going to either defog or he's got HP Grass. And if he wants to let Swampert, or if he wants to kill Swampert, fine, cool, kill Swampert. We really have no use for Swampert anymore. I clicked Roar just to phase, just in case he did go for the defog there, but I really felt like we didn't need Swampert anymore in this match. His Rindo was popped, he wasn't getting health back, like Swampert, he wasn't really useful for much. But I'm going to go straight into Lottie here, unless he's got Dark Pulse. This Rotom is pretty walled by Lottie. We're just going to go for Psychic, and we're going to do a ton of damage to this Rotom. We're going to do about 50% to that Rotom. We do like 70% and we get a crit. I forgot about that, my bad, but it's not going to matter too much, I think. But he gets his Citrus Berry pop there, as he does go for the Volt Switch and do a little bit of damage to my Latias, not too much at all. But we do want the Latias to remain healthy because of the fact that we have Healing Wish and we can revive something, basically. So he does go into the Donphan here, and this kind of scared me because I was like, if he's knockoff, we might lose Lottie here. So I have got to switch out, and I'm going to go right into my Cobalion, I think, because there's no way he Earthquakes here. He either clicks Rocks if he's not AV, or he clicks Knockoff. So I go straight into Cobalion here, and we are about to bust out this tech as he actually goes for Rapid Spin. So I don't know if he expected me to double out, like he just used Cobalion Cobalion as a pivot, which makes a lot of sense. But I'm gonna go straight for Magnet Rise here. We are going to be risen, and we cannot be hit by this Mon's stabs anymore, which is so awesome. But I think he expected me to just use Cobalion as a pivot, try to get the justified boost as he clicks rocks, which is understandable. But I am just going to Swords Dance here. I've got zero reason not to Swords Dance. If he wants to go Mega Pidgeot, he gives us Pidgeot, but he actually goes into Rotom, so we are able to pick off this Rotom no problem as we click Swords Dance, which is absolutely amazing, and this is why the crit from Lottie earlier does not matter. So this when I got into this, I was so hyped, dude. It was hype, and I clicked Z here because if I went minus defense, Mega Pidgeot could kill me. It could come in and revenge me. I didn't want to do that, so we're going to just kill Rotom Wash, and this basically guarantees that we get 2 KOs here because I clicked Z, so that's absolutely amazing there. So all-out pummeling is going to happen from our magnetized Cobalion, which is absolutely amazing. I don't know why I said electromagnetized, but we are going to be able to kill the Rotom there, which is absolutely phenomenal. Rotom is going to be gone. It wasn't the biggest threat against our team, but I'm glad to see it gone, so we can't really use it to pivot anymore. And he's going to go into Paper Cut the Kartana, which makes a lot of sense. We are going to be able to kill this Kartana here, but he is going to get a big chunk of damage off with Sacred Sword. I was so tempted to go Zapdos, but, you know, we were at 21% and he had Rock Sub, so I didn't really have that option. So we are just going to take out the Kartana here, as he is going to be able to freely go into Mega Pidgeot here and basically click Hurricane and pick up a KO on something. Or at least, you know, 2-shot something. So Kartana is going to go down there, and he goes into the Mega Pidgeot here, which I expected to have, you know, Hurricane, HP Steel, things like that, Heat Wave. But I really expected him to click Hurricane here, so I'm going to actually pivot into Mega Diancie here, expecting the Hurricane or the Heat Wave. He cannot click HP Steel there. That made absolutely no sense if he did, because then I killed his Mega Pidgeot, and you don't mess with a threat like Cobalion that's sitting right in front of you that can win the game. So he is going to Mega Evolve here, and Dan is going to go ahead, and I love Mega Pidgeot's design, by the way. He is going to go ahead and click Hurricane, so I use Diancie as that nice pivot there, and we take a little bit more than I would like from it, but it's okay. You got to take damage to deal damage, and he actually gets the Confusion. It doesn't matter. I wasn't going to stay in anyway. And I'm going to go ahead and switch out into the Drapion, expecting the HP Steel this time, so that's really, really cool. But it doesn't matter. Like, Drapion's useless at this point in the match anyway. He killed the Victini. Like, he could beat the Mimikyu, yeah, but, like, not really. We have no attack investment at all. Like, that Mimikyu is... we are fodder for Mimikyu. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Pursuit just in case he decides to switch out. He's going to click Hurricane again, and at this point, I'm just giving him Drapion. I don't need Drapion at all. He can have Drapion. This is the mon I need to sack to get into Zapdos in order to... or to get into Lottie in order to click Healing Wish to heal back up our Zapdos. So he's going to go Hurricane here, and he is going to kill our C-Dad here, which is unfortunate, but we didn't need him at all. But we go into Misery the Latias here. Now, I had a couple of plays. Excuse me. Latias was my only play, 100%. I could click Psychic, and I could get a KO here. I didn't know if he thought I was Scarf or not, or if he was just going to click Hurricane. He could 2-shot me with Hurricane, right? So we were in a tough situation. Basically, if he stayed in and I clicked Healing Wish, we made a good play. If he stayed in and I clicked Healing Wish, we made a... or if he switched out and we clicked Healing Wish, we made a bad play, because then I'm forced to go into Zapdos. So basically, it came down to, if I clicked Healing Wish, I had to go Zapdos. Like, there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I really wanted him to stay in, so I could click Healing Wish with Zapdos, or click Healing Wish with Lottie and go into Zapdos, have that mom fully healed, and we'd be in a good situation. If he switched out, then Psychic would have been the better play, because damage on Donphan would have been amazing. So I really, really felt like he was going to stay in here. I didn't think that there was any reason for my Lottie to be Scarfed this matchup, just for the Mega Pidgeot. I didn't think that made a lot of sense. So he is going to switch out, unfortunately, as we get the 50-50 wrong, and he is going to go into his Donphan, and we are going to click Healing Wish here, unfortunately, and this forces us to actually go into the Zapdos. I would have loved to go Cobalion here, but we have no hazard removal. Our only hazard removal is dead, I do believe. Yeah, just Healing Wish. Our only hazard removal, just Healing Wish. So we have to go Zapdos so it doesn't die to rocks, unfortunately. And at this point in the match, I was like, okay, well, I know he knows that I've been overplaying a lot this game. He probably thinks I'm going to U-turn, and both of my mons in the back are weak to Earthquake. I'm going to click HP Ice here. I looked down on my screen, and it said effective. I didn't have HP Ice. It was Mist Gin. So, thanks, Mid. Thanks, Jesse, if you're watching this. So, I'm forced to click U-turn and basically sack a mon, or hope that he clicked Toxic or something as I go Cobalion, which sucks a lot, because I knew that he was clicking Earthquake here. I knew the play that he was going to make. I knew the best play was to click Earthquake on his part, and I would have 110% clicked HP if it was HP Ice, which sucks. It sucks a lot. So he's going to be able to Earthquake my Cobalion there, and Cobalion goes down here, and now we have nothing to break Donphan because we don't have HP Ice. So I just go back into Zapdos here, and I am going to try to whittle down this Donphan in hopes that we can maybe click Rock Polish with Diancie once this Donphan goes down and try to win the game. So we are going to go into Zapdos here, and like I said, we just have to kind of spam Heat Wave, and I'm hoping for a burn here. As we do, you know, it's probably a 5-hit KO, so really nice. He's going to connect to Toxic here, so he is Toxic, Rapid Spin, Stealth Rock, and Earthquake. Which doesn't matter at this point in the match. It beats us because we don't have HP Ice, which sucks a lot. So basically, how this match could have went if I had HP Ice. Dan doesn't think I could have won. I think I could have, maybe. I really would have liked to see it play out, I guess is the way. I'm not saying I would have won if I had HP Ice, but I would have definitely liked to see how it played out. So basically, I would have clicked HP Ice on his Earthquake there, which would have been awesome, and we get some static there, but I would have clicked HP Ice on his Earthquake there, which would have been awesome. I would have been locked into HP Ice, and either he gave me more damage on Donphan, which just opened the door for Mega Diancie a little bit more, or he switched out into like Mimikyu, which gave me Disguise, or he switched out into Mega Pidgeot, which I 2-shot with HP Ice. So either way, we basically get 2 free HP Ices off on the Donphan, which would have been really nice. And then he does Toxic Us, but I think we 3-shot with HP Ice, if I remember correctly, because we are modest, remember that. So that would have been really awesome. And then he could have went Mimikyu, and I probably would have sacked off Zapdos with HP Ice. Like, it would have been a whole thing. Like, I would have sacked off Zapdos and clicked HP Ice on his Disguise. He probably would have Swords Dance, and I would have probably got more damage off, and then I would have went into Diancie, clicked Diamond Storm, and hope for the defense boost. I think really it would have came down to whether or not I got the defense boost. He did have Wood Hammer, so maybe I didn't win, but I would have definitely liked to see it play out. And he said he had Hyper Beam on Mega Pidgeot, which was really cool. So I go into Diancie here, and I'm not able to win this match at this point in the match. I've got to hope that he gets Static as I go for Rock Polish, and if he does, I have a chance to win. If he gets Static and I click Rock Polish and I get a 2x speed and he gets fully paired, I click Moonblast, he goes into Mimikyu, I click Diamond Storm, and I get the defense boost, I can actually win this game. So I go for Rock Polish here in hopes that that happens. I could have went for Differential, but it doesn't matter at this point in the season. And he does click Earthquake, and we are just going to straight lose there. Would HP Ice have made a difference? Maybe. I don't know. I would have liked to see it play out 110%. I would have definitely liked to see it play out. It definitely sucks. It definitely sucks. We did get the 50-50 wrong with Healing Wish, so good plays on Dan's part. And just good game to Dan overall. That was a really fun game, really enjoyable game. And even though I lost, it's okay. I think that I learned something from this game to double check hidden powers before you go into a battle. But GG to Dan. Make sure to check him out down in the description below. And I think that's going to be it for me here, guys. Thank you guys for all of your support recently. It means the world to me. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. And for now, guys, this has been John Jr. signing off.